Hi boys and girls, it's Mrs. Paddock. I hope that you're all doing well. I have a story for you that's part of our Canada collection of books. This one is called The Royal Canadian Mounted Police. And I have to say that I really like this book because of its illustrations. It's kind of a cool looking book. And it's by Mark Tétrault. I've read a couple of his stories before, but I hope you enjoy this one. More than 100 years ago, on the vast Canadian prairie lived the country's first people. They lived in teepee houses they could quickly pack up when they wanted to follow the herds of bison. At the time, John A. Macdonald, Canada's first Prime Minister, dreamed of uniting the country west with the east. He decided to build a railway. To help him accomplish this and to look after the people who would work on it, a group of capable men was put together. They were called the Mounted Police. Among the recruits, there were teachers and farmers, students, and lumberjacks. The proud new Mounties were eager for adventure as they set out from Manitoba for their long journey west. The land was beautiful and it seemed to go on forever, but it was also cruel. The sun burned down, the sky was filled with black flies. You can even see in the picture there's a bunch of black flies. Yikes. And the animals, they were exhausted. Finally, after 2 long months, they reached the land of the Blackfoot. The Mounties immediately went to work building their first outpost in the west, Fort Macleod. With time, some of the Blackfoot elders learned to trust these men in red tunics, and an agreement was reached. The train would now be allowed to cross their land. Later, Louis Riel, the leader of the Métis, a people of French and Indigenous blood, fought the division of his ancestors' land. The Métis wanted their own country, but their dream was not to come true. We've heard about Louis Riel, of course. He is the founder of Manitoba. We celebrate him and his achievement in February, right? Louis Riel Day. The workers began building the railway. Soon, the first whistle of the Canadian Pacific train blew in the west. The train brought people from Eastern Canada, as well as Ukrainians, Polish people, and Germans from Europe. There were houses to be built, fields to plow, and a new way of life to learn. The Mounties were there to help the new families to settle in. The Mounties' musical ride entertained the people in the new communities. Gold in the Klondike, thousands of men rushed to the Yukon, hoping to strike it rich. Dawson City went mad. Men used bad language and they played cards and they spent the night dancing with the ladies. But of course, the law had to be respected. And the Mounties were there, right, to protect everybody. The Mounties reached the far north. There, they met the Inuit. These people snuggled up in igloos, houses that were made of blocks of ice. It was the Inuit who helped the Mounties to explore the Canadian Arctic. King Edward recognized the important work the Canadian Mounties were doing, and he gave them a royal title. They then became known as Royal Northwest Mounted Police, but later their name was changed to the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Today, the Mounties don't travel the country on horseback like they did in the time of John A. Macdonald, but their work, it's just as important. They're dedicated to protecting Canadians by watching over the country's borders from the Atlantic provinces to the Yukon and to all the territories. There you go, my friends. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned a little bit more about the RCMP, or we also call them the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, the Mounted Police, or the Mounties, right? Lots and lots of names for them. Hope you have a wonderful day. I love you and I miss you all. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.